What is up, guys? Capgun here, one-handed gamer, and I'm bringing you guys some more Call of Duty Ghosts, and I'm going to be talking about a lot of different topics today. I'm going to try to keep it organized, but I definitely wanted to show you guys this great gameplay that I recorded today on Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys are doing great. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving, hopefully you didn't eat too much. I know I did. But yeah, as far as the gameplay today, you're about to see some domination on Octane, and I am using the hand cam in this gameplay so you can see all my movements. And I do take my time in this gameplay because I wanted to give you guys a great gameplay to, show you guys and display. But I do want to talk about a little bit about the controller. The PlayStation 4 controller and my thoughts on the controller, because I haven't really gave you my, opinion on the controller. I've talked about it here or there, talked about a few games, and I said I liked the controller, right? I said I enjoyed using the controller, though there's a few things that I don't like about it, and that is the touchpad. Now, the touchpad isn't like a big deal for a lot of people if you game with two hands, but if you game with one hand and you're playing Battlefield 4, basically the controller configuration is different with playing this game. As you can tell, I actually am using L1 and R1 to shoot. Unlike Battlefield 4, you have to use L2 and R2. But sometimes I actually hit the touchpad. So if you have a controller next to you, basically palm the controller and try to reach for those buttons. And as you can tell, your palm will actually, kind of hit that touch screen, which is a very big problem in a first-person shooter because you need that reaction time. You need that fast reaction time to kill the opponent. And if there's a guy in front of you, it could be a matter of half a second and you're dead. You have to be very careful. So literally, it's a big drawback against, my gameplay and my playability on playing Battlefield 4. But thankfully on Call of Duty Ghosts, they have 8 different settings, so I'm able to play it. I do like the actual joysticks, how they actually indent. It makes it, easier for your fingers to not slip off, because that was a big deal with a lot of the other controllers. Your fingers would kind of slip off the joysticks, and it seems like they're a little farther apart. So that helps too, because then, your thumbs don't touch. I really don't have that issue too much because I use, one-handed game. But, as far as, using the controller, I really enjoy using it. It's very comfortable in my hands. I really don't have any problems with my hand cramping unless I play Battlefield 4. And then the actual grip that's on the outer edge of the controller where the handles are, that's really comfortable. It's real nice. Though, I really don't, take a full advantage of that. I mean, my right hand does hold, as you can tell here, you can see my right hand. It does hold the controller, but no way does it actually hit the buttons, because my hand isn't that strong. It can't do that. So, but, I can hold it, but I can't really feel it. That's the thing. I can't feel, much of anything elbow down. So, it's kind of useless for me as well. But, I kind of feel it, here or there with my left hand when I am using a controller. But overall, I enjoy using the PlayStation 4 controller. It is I would say it's a very good improvement versus the past, controllers. It isn't really a big, crazy difference, but it is slightly bigger. It is more comfortable. There's a few more options. They did take start away, which is kind of weird. Basically, that's now the touchpad and, option button, really. But other than that, the controller is pretty nice. I wish they actually had longer recharge cords with the controller. That's one big issue I always had with trying to find a cord that was long enough, because you'd be kind of sitting far away from the TV. But if you're using a PC monitor or something like that, it's not a big deal. But other than that, as far as the controller, goes, I really enjoy using it. Now, I did want to talk about this gameplay a little bit. Actually, in this gameplay, I did take my time, but you're going to see here how well I, actually maintained my, I would say, aliveness, if that's even a word, I didn't really die too much in this gameplay, okay? I did get 25 kills without dying. You could call that the nuke, whatever, but I did not get the chem strike because basically, you know, I didn't get enough gun kills. You know, that's the bottom line with that. But I think I died at 27. I was 27-0, and then I died. I'm kind of, you know, spoiling the gameplay for you guys here, but I did freaking have a great gameplay here, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And the weapon that I'm using is the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger is awesome because you can actually have 3 attachments on this weapon without using an additional perk that does it. So that's a big advantage. And also it's like an SMG / assault rifle. It is a great versatile weapon. You definitely need to try it. It shoots very fast. It has a high RPM, pretty good damage distance wise. If you control, you know, the trigger, if you feather the trigger, you know, with the actual weapon, you will do very successful. I would definitely try the Honey Badger out. I'm sure you have. If you haven't, definitely try it out. I think it's probably one of the best weapons in Call of Duty Ghosts besides the MSBS, but I'm actually really enjoying this weapon, and it's getting me some good gameplays like this one. I was really close to recycling my kill streaks in this gameplay, but I think I died off of some sniper. It was very unfortunate, but wow, just, you know, overall, I'm not having a bad experience on Call of Duty Ghosts on the PlayStation 4. The graphics really make it, you know, enjoyable to play, honestly. If you're playing it with a full party, it's even better, I think, because you don't have randoms that don't play the objective, and you know, you don't basically have to hold their hand to, you know, help you win a game, which sometimes is really unfortunate. Granted, I don't think I played the objective too much. I think later I captured B when I died, but I think I almost, yeah, I picked up my Trinity rocket here again. So I was doing actually pretty good in this gameplay, and I was definitely enjoying myself. I was like, you know, I'm going to start recording my hand movements more and more for you guys, so then that way you guys can see what I'm doing with the controller in general. But, you know, it is true. I game with one hand. I've been doing it since I was like 5 years old on the original Nintendo, and I have to game this way. It's not a, you know, a choice. I actually have to game this way. But, you know, other than that, you know, understanding to, you know, basically play better in any first-person shooter, I would suggest taking your time, suggest on just thinking about where your next move is going to be. You know, don't be like, oh, I'm just going to run this way. Think about it before you actually do it, because if you just run out into harm's way, you're going to die, and you're not going to realize there's somebody next to you. Definitely check your corners in Call of Duty Ghosts, because there's a lot of people that like to hide in corners in this game. And you know how I was like presenting myself in this game, that's basically how most players play, it seems like, in Call of Duty Ghosts. So you have to take your time, you know, stay on the outside of the map if you can, you know, find routes that you prefer using, understand where they're actually going to spawn in the map. Reaction times are definitely going to help, but if you don't understand how the game runs and operates and find a nice game mode, find a nice medium for you, then you're not going to do successful in Call of Duty Ghosts. And this guy on my team actually got a KEM strike, which is kind of funny. I was like, damn, man, I was almost there, you know. I think I was really close. Actually, to be honest, I think it was an 18 gun streak. So it wasn't a lot of gun kills, but you know, hell, it's pretty good gameplay, and I definitely wanted to share it with you guys. If you guys could definitely favorite, drop a like, even favorite this gameplay, I greatly appreciate it. But I hope some of these tips may help you play better in Call of Duty Ghosts. I know it wasn't a lot, but definitely try out the Honey Badger. I believe it's probably one of the best weapons in the game besides the MSBS and the AK-12 and the assault rifle class. Thank you for watching. Always give it a rating it deserves. Even drop a thumbs up. Favorite this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the hand cam. I went 32-2. Only died twice. Wow. Thank you for watching. Capgun out.